Hi, this is Dave here. I'm a physical therapist with P4S Golf. I assume you've come to this video because you're a golfer who's been dealing with low back pain. If that's the case, you're not alone. It's probably the most common ailment we see on a daily basis here at P4S Golf. Far too often we hear the same story over and over again. Oh yeah, I just take a few Advil before I go out and play, and then I might take one or two when I'm on the course, and then I wake up the next day and take another few because my back is sore the next day. If this story sounds familiar, you should really watch the rest of this video because we may have some useful advice for you. While not all low back pain is created equal, if you are someone who's experiencing low back pain either while you are playing golf or after the round is over, you may want to consider making some changes, and here are some ideas that you'll see in this video. So the first physical assessment we'll check golfers for low back pain is their mobility. And the first mobility that I always test with golfers with low back pain is their hip internal rotation. Hip internal rotation is a pretty key component of the golf swing because the golf swing requires a pretty significant degree of internal rotation to rotate properly through the backswing and follow through. So here's a test that we use for hip internal rotation. Basically, you sit in a chair, preferably your feet should be off of the ground. What you're going to do is line yourself up vertically, line your leg up vertically with the floor, and then take your foot and bring it to the side. From there, preferably you'd have someone measure or watch to see how much internal rotation you have in your swing. We find with professional golfers that the average internal rotation is about at least 45 degrees, and that older amateur golfers the average is 35 to 40 degrees. Now let's say you don't have that much internal rotation, especially let's say you're righty and it's on your left leg, your lead leg. What we find is that the golfers who don't have this mobility will try to search for motion elsewhere in their swing. So let's say you're coming through on your downswing and you can't rotate on this hip. Most golfers will push their hips forward in the golf swing at a very high speed, a move called early extension, if you've ever heard of it. We find that golfers who early extend repeatedly have a higher incidence of low back pain than golfers who are able to rotate their hips properly through the swing. Now, this is just one of the mobility assessments that we use at P4S Golf. If you want to see the full mobility assessment, that's free. You can just check the link in our bio and you can run yourself through the whole mobility assessment. So second on the list is going to be strength. We found that strength is an essential component of a healthy golf swing. We've actually run studies with our junior and professional golfers. One specific study looked at deadlift strength and incidence of low back pain in our golf community. And what we found is that the higher percentage that a junior or professional golfer could deadlift in comparison to their body weight, the less chance they had an incidence of low back pain in the future. Specifically, we found that 1.5 times deadlifting their body weight almost completely eliminated most instances of low back pain. Now, if you think about it, this makes a lot of sense because when we test golfers on our force plates, we find that most golfers are generating anywhere from 200 to 600 pounds of force in a single golf swing. Imagine repeating this over the course of a golf round, so 18 holes, however many swings you take with that much force, include practice swings, then include the amount of time you practice per week. That's a lot of repetitions of that much force throughout the muscles of your body. I hope you can see why having adequate muscle strength and endurance in your glutes, quads, core muscles, shoulders, pretty much anywhere you can imagine that activates during a golf swing, it's essential to be strong in these areas to help prevent the onset of especially low back pain in a golf swing. The third area that we find frequently leads to low back pain in golfers is that they are swinging too hard for their own body. What I mean by that is sometimes there is a mismatch between the speed that someone is swinging and the strength and mobility numbers that they present within their body. So let's use this as an example here. Let's say someone is swinging in the 75th percentile for their age range. Now imagine their mobility is in the 10th percentile for their age range, and their strength is in the 15th percentile for their age range. What we see there is a big mismatch. We call these people the ticking time bombs. So let's say you're in the 75th percentile of your age range for swing speed. We want to see you at least in the 60th percentile for strength and mobility, so that we're lowering the gap there and the risk for error. Essentially, if you have a fast car and you're driving fast, you want to have the engine underneath that can support that speed. We often find a lot of times with especially the fast swingers who present with low back pain that one of these areas, either mobility or strength, is coming in a much lower percentile for their age range, and that often leads to issues in the long term. If any of these points rang a bell to you, my suggestion first is to take the free assessment in the link in our description. That's at least a good place to start on your journey. And if low back pain is affecting you and preventing you from enjoying golf, my suggestion is to go to parforsuccess.com and speak with someone about your issues, and we can send you in the right direction to help you out. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.